This is Guru Focus First Look, your morning market brief for Wednesday, July 8th. Here are the stories driving markets today. Oil prices surged more than 6% overnight as U.S. military strikes against Iran disrupted a recent ceasefire, pushing Brent crude above $78 per barrel. The escalation in Middle East tensions sent global equity markets lower, with energy and defense stocks seeing heightened volatility. The spike in oil prices raised concerns about inflation and supply chain disruptions across multiple sectors.
Turning now to the technology sector, semiconductor stocks, including Micron Technology, Intel, and SanDisk, experienced sharp declines, contributing to a broad sell-off in the Nasdaq. This followed heavy foreign selling in Korean chip leaders such as Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix, which briefly pushed the Kospi index into bear market territory. The Kospi fell more than 5%, reaching levels not seen since major volatility events. Another story we're watching is Apple's announcement of a $30 billion chip-making agreement with Broadcom. The deal expands domestic production of wireless components and supports a $1.5 billion expansion of Broadcom's Colorado facility, reinforcing Apple's commitment to U.S.-based supply chains.
Meanwhile, Microsoft has detailed a major restructuring of its Xbox division, including 3,200 layoffs and the divestiture of 5 internal studios. The company said the move is aimed at focusing on core business areas and streamlining management layers. U.S. employees affected by these layoffs will receive up to 39 weeks of base pay, extended stock vesting, and continued health coverage as part of the severance package. Staying with corporate news, SpaceX shares dropped below their IPO opening price as large institutional funds began investing, despite nearly unanimous bullish long-term targets from Wall Street analysts. The stock's post-offering volatility has drawn attention as the company adapts to public market pressures.
Also making news today, NVIDIA remains a favorite in the options market, despite the broader chip sector slump. Heavy bullish options trading and continued investor interest have persisted even as NVIDIA shares trade 17% below their May highs. The company's shares are now trading at their cheapest valuation multiples since before the artificial intelligence boom, following a 16 to 17% pullback from all-time highs. On the U.S. trade front, the trade deficit widened by 42% to $77.6 billion in May, driven by a surge in imports of semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and crude oil. The increase reflects the broader economy's AI-driven capital expenditure boom, with imports outpacing exports.
Turning to deal news, Vertex Pharmaceuticals will acquire Crinetics Pharmaceuticals in a $10 billion transaction. The deal, focused on expanding Vertex's rare disease portfolio, marks the company's largest ever acquisition. Elsewhere, the Oregon Public Utility Commission has approved a 29.7% rate hike for large data centers served by Portland General Electric. Residential and commercial customers will see modest rate reductions as part of the new plan. In government policy, the U.S. Treasury has launched Trump accounts, individual retirement accounts seeded with $1,000 for eligible children born between 2025 and 2028. The program aims to expand access to investment markets for all Americans under 18.
Meanwhile, Meta Platforms faces $1.4 trillion in penalties sought by 4 states in a trial alleging Facebook and Instagram were intentionally designed to be addictive for children. Meta is disputing both the calculation and the legal basis for the proposed fines. And finally, Levi Strauss and Helen of Troy are scheduled to report earnings after the close today. Analysts estimate earnings per share of 25 cents and revenue of $1,520 million for Levi Strauss, and a loss of 27 cents per share, with revenue of $374 million for Helen of Troy. That wraps up today's market update. We'll be back soon with the latest market news. Thanks for listening to the Guru Focus Brief.